Okay, so the 10 lies Disney told me. If you're pretty enough, you can communicate with animals. I mean, from Pocahontas to Snow White to Gazelle, pretty much any girl with a button nose and a decent wardrobe can pick squirrels off a tree and get it to help her run errands. I remember at one point going out into the woods behind my house when I was 8 or so, trying to get the birds to come to me by whistling at them. For a while, I was convinced that it didn't work because I wasn't a molten hot princess in a super pretty dress. We were taught to believe that there was a certain class of woman whose appeal and charm extended past princes to actually bring all manner of fauna to their side of their will. It was something of a disappointment when you started watching the Discovery Channel and realized that the people who actually spend their time figuring out the communication techniques of deep-sea squid were named Kevin and had more hair on their back than their head. And the squid didn't dance around the research boat helping them clean the crew cabin. Number 2. Incredibly rich, hot, popular guys are husband material. As much as Disney princesses give girls a pretty tough standard to live up to in terms of beauty, wardrobe, and general behavior, the guys have it pretty bad too. In order to be a princess, live happily ever after, or be a hero, they have to be rich, 2 weeks away from coming into their inheritance, live in a castle, and have a face looking directly at an orgasm. They have to be pretty perfect. And the thing is, guys that are beautiful, come from rich families, athletic and charming, do exist. Look at Armie Hammer. The thing is, though, they're almost universally a-holes. Remind me of that guy from high school who lived in that Victorian manor on the good side of town, and was captain of the lacrosse team, and had eyes like pools of sapphire and a chest like Rambo. And he was super sweet and awesome and sacrificed everything to be with you? Oh, right. No. That guy's diet was probably 40% jungle juice, and he only liked talking about the BMW that his dad leased for him. Not husband material, but any stretch of the imagination. 3. Pocahontas was a romantic tale between two consenting sexy adults. LOL. She was 12 and he was almost 40 in real life, and she probably didn't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. Children's movie material if I ever heard of it. She did have a talking raccoon best friend though. That part is true. Number 4. Other girls look like Anne Hathaway. Oh, The Princess Diaries. How chock full of deception that film is from beginning to end. And we can also thank it inadvertently for making us suffer through Anne's painful Oscar hosting with James Franco some 10 years later. But nothing in that film stands out as untrue, quite like the idea that the dowdy, nerdy, unfortunate-looking girl at your high school has to be transformed is going to look like Anne Hathaway. We get it. She has puffy hair and glasses, but I think even the 12-year-old me watching the film was familiar enough with school politics to think to myself, wait a second, Anne Hathaway is actually smoking hot. You just messed up her hair and put grandpa glasses on her. Disney wasn't ready to give us the rough truth that the school ugly ducklings are actually incredibly unattractive and aren't going to be transformed into starlit material with a simple chignon and swipe of mascara. 5. Disobeying your parents can only yield fabulous results. I remember when Ariel was like, but you're on land, they understand that you don't reprimand your daughters. And 6-year-old me was like, who child, if only, if only. And then we smoked a cigarette together and commiserated about getting grounded. But in all seriousness, Disney films have been chock full of zesty young women breaking free from their overbearing parents and running off into the sunset to get married several weeks later. And though my goal wasn't necessarily to walk down the street past my bedtime and go get engaged to the neighbor boy, it certainly planted this idea in my head that if Belle can ditch her father and get a castle library out of it, I could at least probably stretch my TV watching privileges past 7:30. Little did we know, though, that running away dramatically from your parents and doing the exact opposite of what they have decreed for you usually ends in crucial childhood privileges being taken away, including the right to watch the very movies we were getting our bad habits from. We should have left the rebellion to the princesses, who had all those talking animals to help them in their exploits. Number 6. Captain Jack Sparrow will never get old. I remember settling and watching the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie and thinking, wow, that Captain Jack Sparrow character is just hilarious. What can't Johnny Depp do if given the right script and a little bit of makeup? But where's the rum gone? Comedy gold. Gosh, I could watch a million of these movies and never get tired of it, ever. Granted, I was already 14 when the first film came out, but I was still young and naive enough to believe. Along comes the second movie, which started to feel a bit tired, but still kept a somewhat fresh storyline and decent banter. The third film came around. I felt like it was probably time for them to hang up the tri-corner hats for the last time and call it a day. And then, of course, we found that a fourth film was coming out. A fourth film? And we were exasperated, tired, and just wanted Jerry Bruckheimer to let us sleep. But it came and went, and we made it through to the other side. And now IMDb is telling me that a fifth film is coming along. I thought only Tim Burton was allowed to exploit Johnny Depp until he's withered husk of a human being, no longer sure of where he is or what he's doing. Only that he has a silly costume to wear and a couple cheesy lines to deliver. But it seems Depp signed some flaming contract with the devil because he's got more than one franchise director character to keep running into the ground until it has lost all meaning. Apparently, quirky goth guy wasn't enough for Johnny to do. A lot of times. Yeah, he's also got Keith Richards' Pirate Man left to ruin forever. Godspeed, Johnny, Godspeed. Computer-animated films are going to be the greatest thing ever. They ain't Pixar, me Toy Story, and we're all like, this is future. We are looking at the future. This film was so slick and yet so warm and touching and so perfectly crafted as to resonate through two stellar sequels over the course of 15 years between A Bug's Life, Ratatouille, WALL-E, and The Incredibles. It seemed an unfailable medium. And then the other films came. Planet 51, Shrek Forever After, Marjorie's Mom. That proved without a doubt that this was indeed just another movie medium. When it's good, it's extraordinarily good. And when it's bad, it's Ice Age 68, the refreeze featuring that hilarious squirrel creature again. I would like to pass a law that only Pixar can make computer-animated films from now on, and the rest of them should be scooted under the reproval rug, except for Ants. Ants can stay in our national film registry if it wants to. Life was pretty sweet for woman at all moments in history. Man, whether it's 1400s Baghdad, Agrabah, mid-18th century rural France, 1600 Jamestown, or medieval Paris, things were good for the ladies. Sure, there might be an arranged marriage or here or there, but they were quick to talk back, mill around about town freely, and pretty much do whatever they wanted. You remember Jasmine saying, I am not a prize to be won, and then you read a book or two and realize that, girl, that's exactly what you were. Belle would have been paired off with Guston the second she turned 13. Ariel, I haven't finished my Victorian male politics class yet this semester, but I'm pretty sure she and her 18 dancing sisters would have been in some kind of harem. Pocahontas, we all know what happened to her in real. Mulan, pretty sure she wasn't going to get off for the slap on the wrist and a hot night with her former army captain, that's for sure. Cinderella probably would have died of the black lung from cleaning chimneys out all day before she could ever put on a nice dress and go dancing. Life would have been pretty bleak for these ladies, but I guess that doesn't make for as charming a story. 9. No one had a brighter future than Lindsay Lohan. I feel like Disney should be obligated to go pick her up wherever she is and take her to Disneyland and let her have a whole weekend where she just rides roller coasters and eats cotton candy and relives whatever childhood she clearly missed out on so hard. She gave them The Parent Trap. They owe her something. She played 2 roles in that movie at once, and she had the most adorable nose sparkles America had ever seen. Sure, Herbie Fully Loaded, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, and Freaky Friday were kind of lackluster, but she was a Disney teen star. That company is legally required to squeeze that child actors like a tube of toothpaste until they get every last drop of adorable, charming youth out of them. And unfortunately, she, like so many Disney child stars before her, simply had nothing left when all was said and done. But if she, and maybe Kim Richards too, could just have a little time to themselves to be normal kids, not hovered over by parents with dollar signs in their eyes and telling them to do it again, but cuter this time, they'd probably be okay. Disney, can you hook this up? You own half the developed world. You can make it happen. Everything, absolutely everything, has a happy ending, is 10. If Disney has taught me anything, it's that whatever bad thing is happening, or whatever negative feelings I'm having, it is clearly not over with until I'm singing a bouncy outro song and skipping into the sunset towards an awesome life. How sad I was to find out that people actually do break up. For example, Andrew X is absolutely not showing up on a white unicorn under your castle window to apologize, let you in on his incredibly generous trust fund. And could you imagine my surprise when I realized that sometimes unattractive people don't get transformed by a group of singing forest animals into a gorgeous, charming princess that everyone suddenly loves unconditionally? It was like a cold slap in the face from reality when I found out that I would need 4 years of orthodontic work and an acupuncture prescription just to get to a mediocre ending, let alone riding off into a chariot with Ryan Gosling. I guess in some way, I still anticipate things will have a Disney ending. When you grow up with it for so long, it's hard to shake the idea that everything is going to end in a catchy song and flashy bright colors. I guess I'll just save a handful of confetti to throw whenever things are looking particularly bleak. No problem that couldn't fix. So, there's the 10 lies Disney told me when I was little. Please subscribe. Bye!